Hey, remember when this used to be a Kerbal Space Program channel? Yeah, those were the days. So I've got this sort of a cycle with this game. Every version I play it and I really love it, and then I get kind of bored. It's like between version 0.016 and 0.017, when they were working on the planets, I kind of got bored with the game right before they released it. And then again when they were doing docking, I stopped playing because I wanted to wait for them to implement the docking so I could do all this cool stuff. And it's happening now again when they're doing point 19 and they're about to do all this cool mining stuff, and I just can't get excited about the main game anymore because there's about to be so much more cool stuff. But then I remember every time that there's this whole aspect of the game that I almost always ignore. The space planes. I don't know why. I just always forget about that until I'm in these doldrums, and then I remember them, and then they get kind of cool, but then something else happens. They do the release, and I go do that until it happens again. So I'm now in that spot. I'm in that spot where they haven't yet released point 19, but I really want to keep playing this game, so space planes. I've never actually done much space planing, as I said. This isn't actually a space plane as it's normally understood. This is sort of a regular plane with the top stage of a rocket stuck on the end. You'll see what I mean when I launch it. And there at the end of the runway you can see the evidence of my, shall we say, iterative design process. If this was software, it would be called an agile process. In engineering, I believe this is called a bloody stupid process. But I'm pretty confident in this design. I've done something I don't normally do, which is I've taken this plane up a few times before I present it to you guys. So let's turn on the engines and hope it behaves like it's supposed to do. It's actually a surprisingly nimble plane. You can take off pretty quickly in it. My normal thing that I do with it, there's a word for that. Flight plan, I think? I don't know. I don't words very well. But my normal thing is to pitch up really hard. I don't know if that's right or not. It's probably not. But I'm impatient. I want to get to altitude as fast as I can. I could probably pick up a bit more speed at lower altitudes if I took a more gentle ascent profile. But I'm not that kind of guy. And I am approaching the cruising altitude for this, so I'm going to level out now, see if I can't stop gaining altitude. Not normally something you want, but in this case I do want. I've found that it tends to, you can kind of hold a steady flight at around 10 kilometers up, and I want to get as much speed off these engines as I can, because once I'm done with this whole assembly is going to be pretty much useless. So I want to use that fuel as much as I can. You'll actually notice I have two jet fuel tanks on this. That's not because I use two jet fuel tanks of jet fuel to get where I'm going. It's because of ballast. I was having this really annoying problem where the front end of the plane was just too heavy and it couldn't get off the ground. So I just stuck some extra fuel in there as sort of a counterweight to the front end, which is, I guess, an acceptable practice. Oh, I'm losing altitude now. I don't want to do that. I just want to stay at around 10. Let's see. Oh, I'm slowing down too. Shoot. The entire point of this is to stay at 10 and get going quick. I'm screwing up both of those now. Nope, back at 10. I think I can hold it. Maybe. Another one of my trigger points is when the intake air, when that reaches point 1, I lose my nerve. I don't know if there's some sort of probabilistic thing it does, but it feels like I lose the engines slightly before I lose the intake air. I don't know if that's true or not, but It's one of those little rituals you do, I guess. Okay, we're getting close to where I want to move on to my next stage of the launch profile. And now, bifurcator, bifurcate. Aha! And there goes that bit. That was the back end of my plane falling off along with my landing gear. Don't worry, there is a plan, kind of. Let's pitch up a bit. Oh, not quite that much. Oh, shoot, 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 shoot. It does this sometimes, but it can recover like that. See? See? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is under control. Maybe. I think. Yeah. Okay, we're stable. Let's see, what's our orbit doing? Our orbit is climbing at an acceptable rate. This is a good thing. A very good thing. Fuel is diminishing rapidly, but it doesn't need to do much, just needs to get into orbit to prove that I can do it, and that's probably high enough. What's that apoapsis there? 120 kilometers. That is most acceptable. Let's see if I can't fast forward out of the atmosphere. And there goes my air. Let's see if I can't fast forward to apoapsis. A bit more faster forward. Oh, that's forward fast enough. So, about to start my orbital injection burn. Hold that, please. And watching my vertical velocity. And come on, do something. I don't want to burn before I get to the apoapsis because I guess it's none of those rituals. It would probably work okay if I burned now, but I like to have rules, you know? I like to have policies for how I fly things. It's comforting. Oh, there we go, there we go. There goes our vertical speed. So now I can burn without feeling too horrible about my life. Oh, that is beautiful. That's doing just like it ought. And that is what I call an orbit. Admittedly, I can't do anything useful once I get to orbit, but that is so not the point. The point is I have a space plane, or a plane with a rocket on the front, or whatever you want to call this. I like it. It's fun. And if you'll excuse me, I'll go arrange some sort of re-entry thingamajigger. Roger that, Houston. Beginning orbital maneuver K Alpha. Orbital rejuvenation. It's just a standard burn to get me down. Oh, crap. That was a bit too much burn. Just paying too much attention to doing funny voices and not enough paying attention to doing space. So let's do a bit more prograde. Can't do that because this thing's down. That should really... I wish that would stay up when you... Well, it does once you do it the first time, but I wish it would do that by default. And luckily, right when I was about to cut off the engine, I ran out of fuel. I have such good timing. Okay, I'm going to want to flip over now because I'm going to hit the atmosphere at about the opposite point of my orbit where I am now. So if I am pointed retrograde now, I'll be pointed prograde then, and I'll have less work to do when I get to the atmosphere. Which is good because I like having less work to do when there's weird stuff going on, and it's just easier to do things in space. Silly, I know. Turns out I severely overestimated my altitude on that orbit, and I am coming down about a quarter orbit sooner than I thought I was going to. So that means that I'm going to come down in the ocean, I believe, unless I get it just right and can land on that peninsula. But my plan was to land back at KSC. That plan did not materialize. I am sorry, people. But I think if I play my cards right, I will be able to glide to land, to a place where there is land instead of a place where there is water, because it's just nicer to land on land instead of why would they call it landing on water? Wouldn't you water on water? I mean, sure, it's a silly thing to say. Oh, okay, I just tried to bank, and instead I'm doing this. That's not right. That's not the right thing at all. Come on, get down. Come on. No, that's not the correct down. Um, yeah. I'm tumbling, I think. I cannot recover. I do not believe I can recover from this mess. No, I cannot. Luckily, there is a contingency plan. I expected that sometimes I would not be able to land this very well, so I packed a parachute. Anticlimactic. Oh, there it goes. This is a bit of an unorthodox way to land an airplane, but I don't care. It works. Let's do a little bit of fast forwarding. Although I have learned my lesson about fast forwarding with parachutes. I will cut this at 10,000 kilometers. Cut the fast forwarding. I mean, not the parachute. I also think I've learned my lesson about cutting parachutes as well. Sorry. It seemed like a good idea at the time, you know? And then everything exploded. Wait, at what altitude do these fully deploy? Is it 5,000 or 500? That's a very important distinction, I must say. But for the life of me, I can never keep straight how parachutes work in this game. Mainly because my things tend to go wrong before parachutes matter. But oh well. Oh, I can't resist. Just a little bit more fast forwarding. To 2,000, no more. Okay, 1,500, no more. 1,000, no more. Okay, I'm stopping now. With luck, nothing will explode when that parachute fully deploys like that. And yeah. This little Charlie Kerman guy is going to be alright, I think. Assuming nothing goes terribly wrong, like me right-clicking here and saying, I don't know, something silly like cut parachute. Nah. That would never happen. No one's that dumb. And oh, oh wow! Look at those canards. They have no interest in coming down. They are just out of here, off to have their own little adventures. And okay, what did they do when they fast forward? Oh, shoot! Dang it! I forgot that since I'm landed, it'll do the real fast forward instead of the physics fast forward, and apparently that makes things vanish. But oh well, can I tumble home? Am I moving actually? No, I'm not moving. I'm just sort of spinning. Well, this guy will have a bit of a swim to shore, but I think he'll be all right.